还好吧，没有那么排外，排啥外啊？年轻人都还好。我反正我接触的就没有这个感觉啊。你们不要天天带这些地域节奏，不要乱带节奏，好不好？
是的呀。
老年人我也接触不到呀，我也不知道呀。反正我接触的人是不排外的，我接触的所有人都没有什么排外的说法。你们不要带这种地域节奏，好吧？
确实是这样的。
Could be wrong and put myself on the line. I think it's 46 seconds you have to arrive at to block the hatch if it's a 16 hatch, but I wasn't looking at the screen, so maybe it was a little bit late.
Well, if Stats is playing, it's probably 43 seconds to send it out. Get it there just in time.
好了，看比赛了啊
It is funny because like when you're trying to be the very best.
今天最后一场的出线战，版本虽然是在这个第一场是战胜了。朗卡洛克，但我觉得版本今天可能最后还是要遭中，成为一个终极打工仔。
So, you know, it's not the end of the world for Stats, but a little bit of a surprising bad start. Considering
not that bad. I mean, even the probe coming out instantly like this, going cross map. Yes, you are losing the mining time, but also you're kind of disrupting the mining time of the Zerg player as well. This light worker harass that we're seeing where the probe is stacking up on the double mineral patches and forcing the drones to bounce off of them, it eats away at a little bit of the opportunity cost.
版本我感觉要先赢后输，因为星际争霸有这个传统，就是他妈的没有实力的那方先上来很猛。先赢完之后，然后双败，最后出线战被干，这是星际争霸历来的传统。我们国内选手经历过无数次这样的一个过程。
And Stats just kind of playing this one normally. He's going for a really fast target behind this into Warp Gate with an Adept. And Shin is actually making a lot of lings.
He's still making more lings. By the way, it's kind of funny. It does seem like Shin just does not want to play a normal game versus Stats.
No, he does not. He's making even more lings, and he is hiding them.
So the Adept is out on the map. We're probably not going to see the Lings stop for a while now. There's a big gaping hole in that entrance.
I need another gateway to seal that one up. No shield battery, the natural expansion. Of course, there's no reason for there to be a shield battery just yet.
提速狗，我们看一下，这狗好像爆的有点多，它直接去绕。直接绕，我感觉有机会啊！趁你第三个使徒没有出来前，直接绕，完了这版本，
直接感觉没了，
完了，这个，这就是一个先知在，但农民还要死很多啊！这一块农民估计都没了，这一块农民。
I mean, we're already at a dozen dead probes. It's going to end at that number.
12个。
And now a canceled pipe.
很伤，16个农民哦，16条狗换了12个农民。
It's like now we build the pylon and seal the hole.
It's like no, I got to be efficient. I'm just going to lock myself in my base. I've already lost too much.
That was a lot of damage. 12 workers in total getting done. Stats needs to find some counter damage cross map.
But it is so interesting that Shin keeps doing cheeses. To Stats, like it says something. Either he thinks that Stats is a little bit weak early on, or he's actually afraid of the late game and feels like he can't play straight up.
Might be a little bit of both, honestly, against a player like Stats. Oh, he's actually going for this. Shin was really smart, hit the ling count, so these Adepts are going to find some damage.
有那么多提速狗。
drone kills or just the 3.
好了，那你现在先知，你怎么办？你肯定要有一个先知在家里面的，不然的话，你这个3矿就要被骚扰。 2个先知，你说能烧多少东西也就这样了。
Oh, Stats actually worked in. He's okay. Worked in additional Adepts. Third Oracle too to protect this.
你要有个先知在家里面。
I was worried for a moment those would be the only 2 Adepts on the map, and then the third would get canceled. But instead, these Lings not going to get too much done. In a way that kind of helps Stats a little bit because these Lings aren't drones, but also at the same time, he's kind of forced into making more Adepts than he would
总的来说，这就前期打下来之后啊，朗格纳洛克还是有一些优势的。先知在使徒这一波还是有点凶的，这女王好像数量不是很够的样子啊。他主要是3个先知。可以直接飘，没有飘，但后续狗按出来了，也就这么回事了。
再包一次，就感觉版本这个地方朗格纳洛克还是有些损失的。
This kind of forces the adepts in here, which now will confirm the kills on those adepts. So accumulation of anything right now is pretty hard.
就这样吧。
Kill some drones, which is nice, but after everything that Stats has tried to do, it's still a game of catch up where he's behind.
Does he not have a Forge and Twilight behind this? I'm just looking at his minerals and gas.
He just started to both of them.
Oh, it's so late. He's floating 600 minerals and 600 gas when he throws this down. I wonder if he was trying to bide his time and wait to decide what to build.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. So the Spire comes into play. Spire is always a good move, I feel like, if the Protoss is really down. Because it forces them into a position where they have to respect this.
Well, Stats has been able to work himself up to worker parity almost. 60 probes to 66 drones. Shin is still pumping more lings out.
版本现在就靠现在拖时间啊，自己家里面5兵营下去了。能不能抓住跳飞龙的 timing 啊？现在。死一个，没死还行。这个跳飞龙的 timing 能不能抓住？我们看一下。
So it's going to be that blink style.
龙塔应该是刚才版本应该看到了。
I think this is the only way you probably could play this out.
但是他3本也很快。
但应该在主矿，这龙塔应该在主矿。
对，他3本非常快。
飞龙呢，他估计会跳个5、6条吧，反正就跳个5、6条，然后进行一个骚扰。
He's going to try and do it defensively, I think, and I think Stats believes this is his only way of safely getting up to a 4th Nexus against.
Shin that has, I kind of see what you're saying, actually.
Against a Shin that is, you know, at least one.
现在要赶快把气踩起来，把3本先按下去，因为之后朗格纳洛克要做的事情就是要转型成第4。
版本要抓个 timing，
在第4没出来前都还是。对，第4没出来前
有机会打回来。
朗格纳洛克都还是比较难受的。
Blink about 80% done. The mutas come in here to the natural expansion. Oh, there's a photon cannon in the natural.
Yeah, that's going to buy a little bit of time. You know, that's a very kind of defensive stats move there. It's all about preemption. There's also a cannon making here.
这个飞龙并不多啊，飞碟稍微刷一下就能够守住了。出凤凰。哎呀，他可能这波飞龙出了飞龙之后，可能版本就可能就想不到朗格纳洛克会出第4这样的这个兵种了。这第4待会儿出来的话，版本有点难受。强行换吗？有个电池啊。好了，飞龙栓解决掉了，这边要压了。
Yeah, it was short-lived. Well, he was never really going to commit to it. I think he just wanted to make the 6 to try and force some static D and get some probe kills.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you know, the development can't continue on for the Protoss. He had to make those cannons, like you were saying.
Yeah, and Shin is now going into Lurker Tech, so...
第4现在不够啊，数量有点不够。第4，不过再变就行，他只要拖得住就行。
As it is right now, with neither player necessarily close to max,
我就感觉版本知道是第4吗
？Just yet. And obviously he's ahead in terms of workers, he's ahead in terms of tempo. His army's a little bit better here on the ground, but second robo here for Stats. I wonder if he's going to fully commit to ground and try and stop Shin before he gets up to an insurmountable amount of lurkers, because Skytoss is the answer to lurkers here in this matchup. You don't really beat it on the ground unless you have some kind of advantage or you catch the Zerg sleeping.
Right.
And I think that's why we see now the Fleet Beacon coming in. His Stats knows it.
Pushes him back a little bit.
就得自爆球啊，没有自爆球，或者你直接转航母也行。
转航母了，尽量拖吧。
他是两 VR 呢，先把这个不朽爆出来，他也不转自爆球，估计就是不朽，然后拖时间。这跳的很大胆啊！哎呦，这个位置不是很好啊！什么跳了？电的还可以，第2把电还不错，有个不朽，这个不朽很关键。但第一次真的是输出高啊！核电站开起来了，后面2个不朽过来，
应该有机会冲开，因为现在护地次的兵不多。护地次的兵不多，有机会冲开。他抬一下，哎，这几个细节可以。这个凤凰立功了。大妈妈船，他是直接走地面的爆不朽。
He's not going into Sky Toss. He's going into Mothership. He's going to go back to the style he used against Dark in the round of 16, I think. Just a really powerful ground army coupled with.
这时候应该把5矿先点下去，你打退对方一波之后，先把这个5矿开起来再说。啊，要被穿狗了。但是还好，因为都有地保的。
不过看到了，他看到大妈妈船还是很重要的。看到至少保证自己不会第一时间没有变眼睛什么被打穿。这要是星际1的闪电就好了，不是星际1那个闪电，怕不是直接电过去就结束了？
太强了，星际闪电。
星际1闪电电一下，龙骑补一刀，然后这个地次就死了。当然就很经典的打法嘛，就是电一下龙骑补一刀，电一下龙骑补一刀，然后合成球冲出去。
换家，
这个第一次不好解决哦，说实话。
这换家这个换的那是
不好解决这波第次。他应该是想包这波，
他要
只能回去啊，
他肯定要回去啊。
先照出来，然后等大妈妈传。他大妈妈传呢？
这波好伤啊！
他直接回城回过来包。有隐形吗？有隐形，但没焰虫，没焰虫。
可以。
幸好跑得快啊！眼虫在变，先瞄眼虫啊！
点掉了。
哦，眼虫来了。
啊，来了，
眼虫来了，
点不掉了。
退的好，这下退的好，不退他妈人没了。
闪电2把电。
8本真的刚啊，去刚正面。
啊，这个矿被打了有点伤。
再照出来，但第一次的数量太多了，他现在在续航母。
I don't think that there's any game or any situation in this game, I should say, where stats can run around this army. You can see the lurkers can basically just kind of run.
感觉8本正面打不过吧？
闪电
不朽倒是很多，
这几个不朽还是
几个不朽倒真还有点凶啊！再刷一排插球直接冲出去！我靠，这个给他正面怼翻呐
！OB 啊，有 OB，
外面还是绕了一波插拆了个矿，你敢信？
可以
，8本这个正面打得好啊！
很硬啊，这正面。
航母出来了呀，我觉得庄格纳多克要输了。航母出来了，
不，现在航母要稍微躲一下，稍微
对，要续一下稍微。
你现在因为你少量的航母会被飞车拉的，少量航母至少还是能解决的。
庄格纳多克如果被淘汰了，就接受4强没有冲击。
If you can really be good at kind of microing the carriers and keeping the weaker ones in the back and focusing on anything that would focus on the carriers themselves, you could do very well for yourself.
And especially with Shin losing so many lurkers in these past couple of engagements, he had to rebuild them. And lurkers are very expensive in terms of gas, which means he's not really getting to build very many Vipers. He only has 1 on the field right now. He's morphing 6 more lurkers, so he's really trying to win the game.
航母续出来了，
你第一次就没用。
看现在朗甘洛克这个样，就他这个兵种组合好像他还不知道航母，版本应该
打不了航母，他最后用刺蛇怎么打航母？
他只能飞车拉过来秒呀。但有闪电的反馈，你这个飞车也不是很好拉。
We do have that the spire for corruptors later. There are more reinforced. This lucky roach is going to actually scout this.
Yeah,
so
scouting roaches.
Yeah, Shin should have a very good idea this is coming.
The buildup continues. Shin maxes out. Stats is going to be maxing out a little bit.
航母数量太多了，这几个第一次怎么打航母啊？哦，这几个刺蛇，这不 A 过去就完了吗？这不就几个刺蛇？你就航母平 A 过去，他刺蛇也打不过这部航母。把本退了呀，这个直接退了 A 过去，大妈妈船放一下，直接 A 过去了，航母可以看到没几个刺蛇。
造出来，闪电呢？闪电可以撒呀，
闪电呀，他闪电过不去，就平 A 这个刺蛇也打不过这波航母啊！
这刺
蛇几个刺蛇呀，在这里。没 A 了，他想再续一下小飞机。真的 A 过去一共就5个刺蛇了。A 过去。就5个刺蛇
，10个腐化。
小飞机没打干呀，刚刚哪里打干呢？他给了，反而是给了 Ranganano 和一个转型的时间。这样的话，我觉得 Ranganano 还有机会，还有机会。他第一次一趴，然后把闪电清了，这样还有机会。
而且版本还不知道有腐化，但是腐化也要看怎么弄，因为有闪电，有白球。
看闪电电的怎么样吧？照出来了，直接铁脸了，闪电开电，
闪电白球，
开电不管了，开电，白球能摸几个？直接贴脸，把小飞机误光，小飞机能误光吗？没有，打赢了，完了，结束了，结束了。他第一次怎么瞬间消失了？
他第一次被电，
也被电了吗？他第一次刚才好像，
对啊，满中。
他第一次好像也是全部中了，然后被插球打光了，没了。虫族这波拼不赢就不可能赢得了。我靠，把本挥拳呢，不容易啊。
Like you saw the corruptors come in, and I think we all saw the same thing. Like, yeah, this makes sense, right? Now you can take out the centerpiece of the army, which is the carriers. From there, the lurkers are going to be too strong. The fact that he had the storms on the moving corruptors, and when you're coming in with the corruptors, you're just going to try to right-click past the storm.
本组 F2AAATTT 就赢了。
Archons underneath, the splash damage dealt.
把本打得好，这把打得好。
On the lurkers as they burrowed.
要进4强了，把本。
这把打得好。
Suddenly it was a 100 supply or 101 supply Shin that stood no chance. And let's not forget, look at Shin laughing. It's like he's laughing, but he's not having fun. But he can't believe these games. Shin got in there and killed 12 probes, guys. And then Stats was like, well, I guess I better get to 9 carriers a half hour later and win. And he did.
If you're Shin,
Shin's gonna cheese again, man.
If you're Shin and you lose game 1 after getting, like, what, 24 lings into your opponent's nat, nothing's in the wall, there's no defenses, the adepts are cross-mapped, there's 1 oracle and probes, you kill a dozen workers, and you lose the game, I don't know what you do from there. Do you go with another cheese? Do you try to close it out even faster? Do you commit harder to the ling all-in? I mean, we're gonna go to Ghost River here in just a second. Shin is on the brink of defeat here.
要是 Cyro 早，不是 Cyro 就一个，他的确很猛，这个是没话说的。哎呀！
Stats in the left, Shin on the right, both players hugging the top of the map. Yeah, I mean, I really want to see kind of from Shin's perspective.
14农民直接开基地。
He has basically done something. Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate you and love you from Romania.
Hi, mom. Sticking
Hi, mom. Mom's at home in Romania watching.
他没有14农民开基地，他这个是什么？他是看你有没有来，我估计就是你如果来了，我就农民就不按了，我就直接下基地了。如果你没来的话，我就再补一个农民。他是这样子的。
I'm
now,
not
the thing
sure.
is, the more times you do this against somebody, the less it tends to work.
Yeah.
Or eventually you're like, oh, you're that guy that does crazy things at the start. Okay, I am going to just try to think of all the things you could do and make sure they don't happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Shin is going to bring to the table here in this game because so far today, he has lost, I think, every single game against Stats. I don't think he won one. He came very close, you know, in game 1 where he went for that link early on. The Baneling bust, really. With a proxy hatchery. He kills 1 or 2 more probes, he probably wins the game.
版本应该还是以 VS 先知开局，就很常规的打法。版本这个选手，他这个风格其实很容易被摸透。大家都知道你是一个喜欢打中期、打后期的选手。就你没有什么战术。
Every single game between Stats and Shin has basically followed that same storyline where Stats is defending and defending and defending and almost dying but not quite. And then finally there's this pivotal moment where he sees the opportunity and he snatches it.
You know, it's funny too, because when we talk about Stats like defending, and then winning the game, I'm not talking about crazy all-in cheeses that he survives. I was talking about like attacks on his 3rd base and he's trying to get a 4th base. And I was talking about those kind of games.
VS 开啊，这把还是。Cyro 的女王开确实是完美开局。Cyro 是这样的 ，Cyro 的 ZVP， 他已经把神族的所有变化都算死了。所有。朗格纳洛克这盘也用的是 Cyro 这个开局。我跟你们讲讲他的流程，好吧？他上来是5女王开，然后 Ranga 纳洛克，但是我觉得他房子放的位置啊，上面那个房子可能会往里切，可能啊，正常情况下房子应该不会放那个位置的。5女王，然后5女王的话，他第一个这个叫做防空就不用放。你过来我就10条狗等着你，你来嘛，或者8条狗等着你。你飘啊？你敢飘吗？你不敢飘。
他上面那个房子是为了看神族的2矿的7矿什么时候开。
为什么他放防空啊？啥东西啊？Ranga 纳洛克为什么会放防空啊
？2矿是没必要放防空，因为2矿你
不是主矿也不用放，你5女王开你放什么防空啊？第一个先知过来的时候，你第一个先知过来的时候，你主矿3个或者主矿2个，分矿3个，然后你4分钟再放防空呀，是不是嘛？你4分钟你放防空，然后第2个先知才能到。这个他这样运营，他就会比 Cyro 慢，因为他上来少了2个这个，首先他少了2个农民，然后还少了防空的钱，这是不是就是血亏？然后第2个就是他房子站的位置站的不对，他如果房子站的位置你先知过来，那我女王就提前站位，那基本上农民也不会死，你上来还死点农民，那你的运营跟 Cyro 是不是又差了一截？
哎，死了一个！
那把本他妈送个先知，搞笑了。
他们不回城的那个残血先知。
这波狗包的还可以，这波狗包的还可以。
完了！
把本前期占到的所有便宜全部吐出来了，
这是真完了，
全部吐，甚至是大裂。
家
里面女王站好，大裂啊！不是，我就跟你们讲 ，Cyro 的运营为什么那么快？他是，当然你要做到他这种防守是很难的，但是他的开局的确是在现今的神族体系下面，你是没有办法破解的。
try and trade them out for drones. And in a way, because Shin made so many early lings, and the lings got traded out the adepts, it kind of serves the same purpose.
Right.
现在主要还是这个版本不会有特别大的改动之后啊，像 Zero 这种强的选手就不会有任何的一个。
版本还是闪
就这么强，一直强。
让格纳洛克开4矿，因为第一波使徒吃了，所以没什么太大压力，他可以把农民继续拉，继续往上拉。你甚至吃了使徒之后，你看他6分钟才放这个蟑螂巢，
是可以这样的，他
他现在没什么压力。哎，但是我话又说回来，今天我跟你讲那么多什么前期没有什么吃亏啊，什么东西神族占不到便宜，那你后期打不过神族，那也是就等死这套打法。这套打法就是大家都能平稳运营到后期，你也冲不死神族。说白了，你也不可能说什么上来冲死神族。Zero 能这么打，最大的原因是他后期能稳赢。你这他妈庄格纳洛克这么打，他后期赢不了，那么也没用。
哎，这种后期不会打后期就龙狗毒爆，就强行跳飞龙，跳得出来龙狗毒爆，你的赢面就大；跳不出来或者被抓了天，你就 GG， 那你怎么办？只能这样。
不是 Zero 最强的就是后期，所以他的很多打法其他重组也学不了。你学到最后你大龙感染打不过，那学啥呢？把本一波了，直接假开4矿真一波，61个农民极限一波。哎，说到底，最后还是学我吧，刺蛇一波打不赢就算了。打什么后期？
咱们感觉打不进去啊。
但这波狗啊，软格纳洛克去咬4矿的这波狗是直接断了把本运营的念想了。
对，
就是要跟把本这一波就打到底了。我是没办法呀，我是真的是想了一个办法，因为我后期就打不过神族，想了个办法，只有这一条出路。ZVZ 你妈没有实力就12D， 也是有条出路。ZVT 我现在还没想到办法，好吧？
有办法跟他打后期啊，感染
打不过呀，等死。
大龙感染。你打都没打，你怎么知道打不过？打打看呀。不然你也很适合大龙感染的。
打不了，我试过了。我打你妈的，我大龙感染打神族，打那种5000分的都很吃力。我就觉得他妈的这些神族就过来 F2AAATTT 就赢了，他妈真简单。然后他妈手都操作烂了，都打不过了。
阿本这几下操作其实还是不错的。哎，被抓了！哎，这还行，
这边还是给足了压力啊。
给足压力，我觉得这样打下去，软格纳洛克肯定要崩。
软格纳洛克这样打的话，他兵有点爆不出来。
Shin is mixing in more lings, but soon we're going to have +1 armor stalkers against lings that don't have +1 melee attack just yet. They're only going to tickle these stalkers.
不可能打得到，现在就耗呀。
That is not really the tech. I mean, Shin needs something, but
我说的是 ZVP， 你们这些人组在这里叫什么操作量？我说的 ZVP。
He's made more banelings down here. These are far away enough. I don't think that Stats is going to see them unless he has something to spot.
We'll see. Stats it seems like he's on a hunt. He knows there's another attack that's going to be coming, and he's no longer all in. He's getting Storm. He's taking that 4th base.
反应呢？还可以。
But again, it's really hard for Shin because
不会动一半吧？
spread really. It is hard for Shin to defend.
这边没有用，没滚到。
Just barely clogs it up.
人组仗
哎，这边兵营已经打。
Stats is able to take another favorable engagement in the middle. He's just kiting Shin all the way back to his base.
不过软格纳洛克也没科技，就蟑螂狗不好打到底的，也没什么科技。
没法有科技。 版本还优势啊，现在四光也有，科技也有，攻防也不落后。
正面这波冲也不好冲，人口差不多啊，大家。但软杆大陆可忍不了了。
有先这点慌什么的？你来嘛。
Templar are soon going to have, what, 6+ storms? Double Immortal Productions getting online. And Shin has basically locked himself into this composition that isn't that great.
这一波兵送的稍微
多
的有些可惜。
He's very close to max anyway, so freeing up this supply in terms of Zealots isn't really that hurtful. He's going to remax instead on Immortals.
你的 EVP 给了我解法，但是我打不过就是不努力。哎呀，我要是会大龙感染，我跟你们说，他妈的，老子 EVP 也会很强。怎么会走上刺蛇一波这种那么不要脸的战术？这不就是因为我不够强，我才走这种歪门邪道吗？
感觉这盘跟上一盘还是挺像的。
我来了，
马上结束了。
他这好厉害啊！他这个
打本今天有点凶，我跟你说，前期吃了亏也能打。
他这 PVC 好厉害啊！我那3的丢他那把，我看不是女王，这都被狗穿成那样了。
打回来了呀！
天气，所以我感觉他好厉害啊。感觉他有点像神族版的 Cyro 啊。
啊，评价都那么高了吗？
是不是有点过了？
不是，我说我的意思，光 PVZ 这场他打10打下来，哪儿都有防守，然后正面进攻还没失误。他跟收 time 感觉有点不一样，收 time 是光防守好，但是不会进攻。这把本是防守又好，然后还会进攻。
要不去问问把本用的什么键盘鼠标？
我不需要，我现在已经换成我自己最舒服的键盘鼠标。
那你又换了什么键盘鼠标呢？你他妈的之前不是 Cyro 的吗？
没有，我鼠标一直都是那个
狗屁王嘛，你鼠标。
好，现在狗屁王3。我现在用的狗屁王3。
那你键盘是什么键盘呢？最近
Glorious 啊，
那不就 Cyro 这个吗？
但是真的好用这键盘，我用了不能用太久了。我想
是呀，冠军粉
，Cyro 的键盘就是好用。
不，我觉得单纯我想换个键盘，我用了不能用太久了。
没有兵吗？没有兵，先知呢？
要不我给你推荐个键盘。最近
你说
叫极客精英，
不想买，算了
687。我前2天才买的。我前2天买的还可以，2024年刚出的。
这电。
哎，他还会很会进攻，你知道吗？他不光会防守，还很会进攻。我靠，这2线2边跳，然后家里在跳航。
没有广告费，我最近买的。我最近买的，还做的还可以，这些。
王哥就这点爱好。
我前2天还去找了大海岸。我说你们那个爱石头最近有啥好的东西，大家可以。
你知道吗？今天我感觉下来，我看 RNK 的比赛，我就是感觉他觉得后期可能打不过，然后他就一直好急，一直想 S 神。
这双线分的，我真的是。好了，
毛一个。哎，对，真的是，我去找他要了块磁轴。等那个叫什么清明节过后看看啥情况，我还没用过磁轴。他们准备把磁轴打到199。
航母回城，哎呦，这矿掉了也就掉了呀，白白那么多钱，那么多气，这然后给输了。
把本真的好强，
太厉害了，
真的好强。就刚刚那个局面，我是觉得重组，
而且他不是全部回城，他还是分兵的那种回城。
重组应该能赢的，刚刚。磁悬浮键盘碍眼，黄哥毛一个，不是，我都给你们抽了10个了，这个键盘，我还去毛一个，
没有侦察王虫，
跟上一把有点像啊，没有眼虫，直接被包了，这波部队。
完了，这
包了，
还被这样包。 第一次已经落单了。
八本第一次打 GSL 就进4强了，可以啊。
进了，进4强。
他
光是这个航母就已经解决不掉了。王洛根也没钱，这盘比上把还穷。
It's still powerful. Shin does have a path to victory if he's able to isolate one of these armies and take them out, but his army just isn't that mobile. It's so focused on these lurkers. Now, how many carriers do we have on the field?
完了呀，这不眼虫打了怎么办？他在后面把眼虫打了。但这后面有点包不住。
包不住没关系，航母慢慢起来了。
主要你看饶刚那个没有4矿的，他怎么都输了。
There's no bases left that are really economically viable. There's not a lot of money coming in for Shin, so he doesn't have a lot of room to try to expand.
我上次真抽了10个，哦不对，我抽了9个键盘，被 Michael 赛的毛了一个。那个什么爱妍的磁悬浮键盘，我去找大韩，大韩给了我10个，然后抽给大家的。你们妈的抽了的人都说没抽，我靠 ！Michael 赛的还毛了一个呢。
毕竟抽到的是少数。
抽了9个，Michael 赛的毛了一个。
哎，
没了呀，不用打了呀，这个棍真的有点凶，
没了，
真的有点凶他。这个后期包括中期的这个压制能力啊，基地被绕了之后，川狗基地绕掉
，6个航母了，6个航母在
就打不了了，就人口已经差1倍了，打不了了。
打得好呀！
他为什么这次不找 Hero 练？他一直跟 Nightmare 还有 Kratos 练。好强啊！爸爸。
爱妍还有1999的键盘，黄哥再去毛一个，毛不了，我还是要脸的，好吧？
上线。
我先去搜一下，
别急，看完采访不要急。
对呀，你慌什么？
我知道，我先把房子起来。
妈的，还有1999的，你们不要骗我。
And he can roll with the punches so well too. He's losing bases, he's losing fights. He is at death's door in so many of these games.
拉达克一脸懵，我懂他这种心情。别人稍微回来练一练，就把自己给赢了。
不，他没练啊，最近。
来，听听采访，李培南翻译。
So the fact that we were able to see stats
我还没开始吧，我帮你翻译。
Just play like a really great
有1999，没有1999。
Where the Zerg was burning through cash with his attacks was something else.
I mean, it just felt like every decision Stats made was the right one, and even when he did have errors, I mean, not having a pylon on the wall in here, the Lings get in, 12 probes go down. He played from that position so beautifully, and just being able to roll with the punches, like I said. Every single attack that Shin throws at him here in the mid-game basically gets parried. Or if it doesn't get parried, there's a counterattack coming in from Stats that does equal or more damage. He doesn't mind losing the natural expansion.
Not at all.
He will use half of his army to take down your best mining base, your 4th base, full of drones, full of minerals. That expansion goes down. Yeah, he trades out his natural expansion, but you can't get into the main. He has Storm up there. He recalls. He plays positions perfectly. It feels like Stats is using everything in the Protoss arsenal. Let's hear what he has to say.
好，恭喜金大勇上树！金大勇上树今天的表现非常不错，然后以第一次参加 GSL， 然后就进入了4强，有什么想说的呢？啊，我今天很开心啊！然后自从上次其实 IEM 的时候，1分没赢，我觉得心情吧，对我来说已经离开了，毕竟我刚回来兵役嘛。但是我回来一直勤奋训练，但是我没想到今天居然能出现啊，赢了 Dark。主持人问你这一路赢了 Dark， 然后又赢了 Classic， 然后现在又赢了 IEM 8强的选手 Shin， 你是否觉得自己已经回来了呢？你有什么想对观众说的呢？思考一下。我觉得吧，我运气比较好，完全是因为中国的 WTL 还有 Star War 给了我动力。我觉得中国能有这么多的线下赛，也说明心快好起来了。所以，我在 IEM 之后才有心思想回来练习。然后非常感谢 WTL 和 IC Boy 啊，他们现在应该正在看我的直播，听我这里的采访。我爱你们 IC Boy。然后， 对，然后主持人又问哦，那么金大有上诉，你有什么今天想说的呢？今天这么开心，在这种时刻你居然进了4强。现在说啊，也没有什么，就是我觉得今天发挥的比较好，然后最近又练的比较多，非常感谢中国选手奥利维拉跟我一起练习。然后虽然我今天没有赢 Q， 然后但是。还是总体发挥还是不错的，然后非常感谢他。然后我总结来说，我觉得我的 PVC 非常强，我觉得只要前中期我只要能稳住，虽然稍微亏一点，但是打到中后期，我觉得赢下比赛是完全没有什么问题的。然后非常感谢我的粉丝们来到现场。好。然后主持人又问，对，问什么呀？我他妈没得编了呀！
Well, you lost pretty much all of your probes.
我他妈没得编了，我真的是日了。
Probes all the time. And what were you thinking in stats? As well, I felt like I lost the game, but somehow. After that,
哦，第一把的时候，主持人问第一把怎么这么激烈？我说第一把我觉得我已经快输了，但是我觉得稳着打就可以了，因为我的后期太强了，大个都赢不了我，我他妈太牛逼了。
And I was also able to take fights where.
然后我觉得我的大后期操作也是最好的，然后我希望能来到 DKZ。
Well, finally.
然后主持人问，最后想问你的呢？看起来艾尔之盾好像回来了。
A lot of fans are excited.
许多的粉丝非常开心。
Especially. Oh, they're asking because of the minor.
不是你他妈别停出来，搞得你他妈真懂一样，我真抓不住了。
然后这2句我是真的听懂了，然后我再听什么？好像是你有点什么紧张吗？有点什么
？Just been able to win regardless of the mines or not. But you know, even with the mines getting nerfed, I still have a bit of a curse.
哦，他好像在说地雷削弱的事情。
Try and open another era here in the semifinals.
然后再说人族的事情，他就觉得好像是神族的空军现在很厉害。
Well, you know, in the semifinals, you're going up against Hero, one of the most aggressive.
然后你4强要打 Hero， 你有什么看法呢
？Hero is arguably the best Protoss player in the world.
他觉得 Hero 是现在最强的神族选手。
And after I was discharged from the military, he helped me elevate my play so much.
然后说，在我回来之后，他帮了我很多。
I think he's a higher tier player than I am right now. So I'm going to prepare the best I possibly can for that match.
他说他能尽力对 Hero 那场能做到最好就可以了。
I know he's really aggressive, but I'm really defensive, so I'm just going to try and embrace my role and be ready to deal with whatever he throws at me.
哎，听不懂了，不是我好像听得懂，但我翻译不出来，我操！
听得懂为什么翻译
？Are you ready to show your fans？
我大概我不知道这个怎么说，我操，反正就是哎，就采访以前问他要打 Hero， 你马上要打 Hero 了，要4强。然后总体就是他说 Hero 在他兵役回来之后说。 在训练方面帮了他很多，然后他觉得 Hero 现在是最强的选手。
What words do you have for them? And Stat says, well, even at my lowest, you guys were supporting me. I am so grateful for you.
然后非常感谢粉丝们支持我，然后非常感谢你们，然后非常感谢今天的表现，谢谢，拜拜。